More cruisers than ever are being bumped from cruises. Here's why. You've booked the cruise, you've paid in full, you packed, pre-checked in, printed your luggage tags, and showed up at the terminal early, excited, happy, smiling, family in tow. The ship is right there, you can see it, and then security pulls you aside. A few awkward glances, a couple of quiet phone calls, then the words, "Sorry, you won't be boarding today." Just like that, your dream cruise is dead at the dock. This isn't rare anymore. It's happening more than ever in 2025. And not just for the obvious reasons, like being late or missing paperwork. Cruise lines are bumping passengers, even the ones who did everything right. In this video, we're counting down the real, ridiculous, and angry, downright shady reasons paying guests are being turned away. From secret ship sales to health screenings that feel more like a witch hunt, nothing is off the table. So if you're watching this before your next cruise, maybe drop a like for good luck, and let's dive in. Starting with the kind of betrayal that'll make your blood boil.
Number 1. Your ship got hijacked by a high roller, aka full charter takeover.
So picture this. You booked months ago. You've picked your cabin, maybe even splurged on the drink package. Then suddenly, the entire cruise is gone. Canceled. Why? Because your ship's been chartered. That's cruise speak for, we just sold your entire vacation to someone else. Maybe it's a corporate mega retreat, maybe a themed Star Trek voyage, maybe a bunch of influencers filming a sponsored swimsuit haul at sea. Doesn't matter, the cruise line gets guaranteed money and you get the boot. These full ship charters can pop up with as little as 3 to 4 months notice, and they affect every cruise line, from Carnival to Seabourn to the ultra luxury ones. And no, you're not first in line for compensation. You're last in line for an apology.
Number 2. Adult-only takeovers. No kids, no you.
This one's catching a lot of families off guard, and fast. Cruise lines are starting to quietly rebrand certain sailings as adults only, after they've already been booked by families. It happened recently on Carnival Conquest, where 5 upcoming Caribbean cruises were suddenly converted into 21 and over casino-focused voyages. And get this, they gave people just 8 weeks notice. Anyone with a kid under 21 on their booking, canceled. Automatically. No warning, no alternative options, just a refund and a digital shrug. One family even found out through a Facebook group before the cruise line officially contacted them. Classy. So why are cruise lines doing this? Simple. Casinos. Adults gamble. Kids don't. And if they can fill the ship with guests who spend big at the slots, that's way more profitable than a bunch of families looking for towel animals and free ice cream. Just another reminder that cruise lines are businesses first, and babysitters never.
Number 3. Sold like a used car. You spend months planning the perfect cruise. You know the ship, you pick the cabin, you even watch 12 YouTube walkthroughs of the buffet. And then the ship disappears. Not literally, but it's been sold off like a secondhand sedan. Cruise lines are quietly unloading older ships and transferring them to new brands. And guess what? Your booking doesn't come with it. One day, you're sailing the high seas on the Seabourn Sojourn. The next, it's been handed over to a Japanese cruise line you've never heard of. Another example, Costa Fortuna, gone, rebranded into Margaritaville at sea. Hope you like cheeseburgers in paradise, because your Mediterranean cruise just turned into a floating Jimmy Buffett concert. And no, there's no upgrade, no apology basket, not even a sorry for the inconvenience mint. Just a refund. And a gentle pushback to Google Flights. Number 4. Overbooked on purpose.
Here's a fun one. You got bumped because the cruise line sold more cabins than they actually have. And no, this wasn't a mistake. Cruise lines deliberately overbook cruises, especially when you book what's called a guaranteed cabin. That means you're guaranteed somewhere on the ship, but not necessarily on the ship if everyone else shows up. They're gambling that a percentage of people will cancel last minute. But if everyone checks in, someone's getting the boot. You'll often get an email offering a refund, a future cruise credit, or a spot on a different sailing. But sometimes they wait until the very last second. True story, in Brisbane, Australia, a family showed up at the port with their luggage, ready to board. They had booked early, checked in, did everything right. But when they got to the terminal, they were told the cruise was oversold. They waited around for hours hoping someone wouldn't show. And everyone did. No cruise, no compensation that could ever make it right. Just a long, sad walk back to the parking lot.
Number 5. The dry dock shuffle.
Cruise ships need regular maintenance. That part's fair. But lately, dry dock schedules are moving around like they were planned by a squirrel on espresso. A sailing you booked 6 months ago can suddenly vanish because the ship is going into dry dock earlier than expected, or later, or maybe it's just stuck there because they ran out of parts. Who knows? Cruise lines have canceled entire itineraries at the last minute to squeeze in repairs. One day you're sailing to Aruba, the next the ship's getting new carpet and a fresh coat of paint while you stare at your unused sunscreen. Carnival Conquest alone bumped 5 full cruises when its dry dock got reshuffled. So yeah, if the ship needs a tune-up, your vacation gets tuned out.
Number 6. Red alert, you were too honest. We all get mad at cruise lines sometimes, but one guy took it a little too far and paid the ultimate price. He was upset about an itinerary change, called customer service, demanded compensation. Fair enough, until he started yelling, swearing, and generally losing his mind on the phone rep. When asked to calm down, he escalated even more. He thought he'd cool off and call again the next day. Nope. Instead, he got a phone call from the cruise line, not with a solution, but with a full cancellation. They refunded his money and banned him for life. His friends still went on the cruise. He stayed home with a very expensive lesson in phone etiquette. So yeah, the customer might be right, but if you raise your voice, you might raise a red flag straight onto the no-sale list.
Number 7. You got health screened right off the ship. You made it through online check-in, security, even the terminal snack bar. But then someone from the ship's medical staff gives you a long look. You're suddenly being screened for looking tired, sweaty, slightly hunched from dragging a suitcase through 5 airports. Doesn't matter. If a staff member thinks you're unfit to sail, they can deny you boarding. One man on Reddit was turned away because of a mild tremor in his hand. Another was told he looked unwell. Not was unwell, just looked it. No diagnosis, no refund. Just a polite corporate version of, "You good? 'Cause we're not taking the risk." And before you say they're just being cautious, sure, but that caution doesn't come with travel insurance baked in. So if you get pulled aside at the port for looking a little too pale, good luck.
Number 8. Your friend canceled your trip out of spite.
You know what's worse than a cruise line canceling your trip? Your friend canceling it for you. Yep, it's happened. More than once. One woman booked a cruise with friends. After a falling out, she suddenly found her reservation had been canceled. The kicker? The ex-friend had her booking number. Another traveler posted about scoring a suite on a dream sailing, only to have it mysteriously canceled shortly after she posted about it online. Turns out, someone used her public info to access the booking and cancel it out of spite. Oh, and a popular influencer had his plane ticket canceled the same way. So the lesson here? Don't post your full name, booking number, cabin number, or anything online. Not on Facebook, not in cruise groups, not even in your Instagram stories. Because there are trolls, and some of them are tech savvy. Number 9. Your passport's ugly equals you're not going. Think your passport just has character? Border Control calls it damaged. We're talking a tiny tear on the page, slight water damage, a corner that's a little too bent. All of that equals denied boarding. One British couple flew all the way to Sydney, checked their bags, and stood ready to board a cruise to Singapore. But when they handed over their passports, they were told, "Sorry, your passport is too damaged to continue." The cruise ship sailed, their bags were on it, they were not. So do yourself a favor. Inspect your passport before your trip like it's a piece of fine art, because one wrinkle could wrinkle your whole vacation.
Number 10, you filed a chargeback, you're blacklisted. So you went on a cruise, you didn't like the food, or maybe the excursion got rained out, or the hot tub was lukewarm. So you do what any mildly annoyed modern traveler might do, you dispute the charge with your credit card company. Boom, refund secured. Except now, you're permanently banned from the cruise line. This is happening more often than you think. Cruise lines call it friendly fraud, and they take it very seriously. One woman filed a chargeback after she didn't like the cruise credit she was offered. She got her money back, but later found out she'd been flagged in the system. She tried to book another cruise? Denied. Turns out, the chargeback didn't erase the cruise line's memory, just her bank account. So unless you really never want to sail again, think twice before going full Karen with your credit card company.
Number 11, your cruise was canceled for reality TV. No, this isn't a joke. This actually happened. Passengers booked a cruise with Virgin Voyages, excited and ready to go, only to find out their entire sailing had been chartered for a TV show. And not just any show, it was The Bachelorette. That's right. Real, paying guests were bumped so a bunch of Instagram-ready strangers could cry in hot tubs and hand out roses on your balcony. The cruise line gave passengers their money back, but let's be real, there's no refund for that level of disappointment. So if your ship ever gets suspiciously quiet on social media, it might not be canceled, it might just be camera ready.
And if you think this was wild, wait until you hear about the cruise rule changes that are catching cruisers off guard left and right. That video is packed with surprising info you absolutely need to know before your next cruise. Trust me, you don't want to be the last to find out. I'll see you over there on the end screen.